with Cindy Botts. Today I'd like to talk to you about this fun scrappy pattern. Now for this pattern you will need scraps, and more scraps. I started out with my piece of graph paper and I came up with this design. I think it's an original design. Maybe it's not. I believe it is. So what you're going to need are 2.5 by 4.5 inch rectangles, 1.5 inch light colored squares, 1.5 by 2.5 dark rectangles, and 1.5 by 2.5 inch light rectangles. Oh my, here comes Turtle. Turtle just loves to be in the videos. Get down, sweetheart. Let me just ask her to get down. Jump, 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 and there she goes. All right. So this could be a real fun table runner, placemat, wall hanging. You could enlarge the rectangles and make a really cool quilt. You could keep it small like this and make a really cool quilt. It really is up to you. I do want to spin it so you can see the design if they're pointing, these rectangles are pointing up. It really comes out cute. And the trick is to use dark and light fabrics in the specific placements. So let's talk about that. Oh, there she goes again. All right, maybe she'll be happy laying there, oh, being so cutesy. So you start with your 2.5 by 4.5 inch dark rectangles. Then you put a 1.5 inch light square on the corner and do that diagonal seam, and then you trim and fold this back, and you do that to all 4 corners, and you will have this result. It's a snowball on a rectangle instead of a square, and you can see all of those. Just make them into rows, sewing one snowballed rectangle to another into your strip, however wide or long you want it, depending whether you have your snowballed rectangles going horizontal or vertical. Okay, and then the other thing you do is then make your 1.5 by 2.5 inch rectangle strips, and that just goes down along the side of your other strip. And you want to, start with a 1.5 inch square so that you can line it up there, remembering to give a little bit so that your seam at 1/4 inch touches the seam on the diagonal at 1/4 inch. Just being mindful of that, and you line up your pieces. My goodness, Turtle, but you are just into it today, aren't you? Wow. So besides having Turtle here today, I hope you can see the project. Okay, so you just make the rows and strips as many as you want, depending on how large or how long you want it, and you just continue on. So this is done again in rows. I chose to start with 4 rectangle length. I left a little bit of opening here at the bottom so that if I did to choose to add a little bit more, I could just easily add in that next block. I could just easily put that in. Okay. So I don't know. I haven't decided. I am thinking that I want it just a little bit more square. So I think I will be adding another row or two to the length of it. I like the width. It's a nice little width for me. And then I'll bind it with a dark color and have a nice little, I think, wall hanging for myself. Although Miss Turtle would love a little kitty blanket. So I hope you like this recording with my friend Turtle, and that you can actually see the project. And enjoy making this scrap busting, wall hanging, placemat, quilt, whatever you want to take that design. You could even make this into a book bag, a tote if you wanted to. Just using this as your outside fabric, make it the size that you want, the dimensions, 12 by 14 or 14 by 16, and using that as a side panel. That would be really cute too. All right, you have a great day. Bye now.